Stop scrolling. This is the story of a woman who walked out of a courtroom and into $1 million camera flash. Not by accident, not by luck, but by design. Corazon Kwamboka is a trained lawyer who became a social media hurricane. A photo went viral, and the world asked for more. She turned curiosity into currency, law books into brand deals, judges' briefs into business briefs. But don't confuse glamour for ease. Behind every perfect photo is strategy, sacrifice, surgery, sleepless nights, and a stubborn refusal to accept the script other people wrote for her. This is a woman who survived ovarian cysts, learned to co-parent under the camera's glare, launched a fashion line that hugs bodies most labels ignore, and used her law degree to protect her own brand. Quietly, efficiently, legally. She's a polarizing figure, sure, but more importantly, she's a lesson. If fame knocks, don't just answer the door, move in. Welcome to the rise, the controversy, and the reinvention of Corazon Kwamboka. Most people know Corazon for the glamour shots and the headlines, but her earliest chapters were penned in lecture halls and casebooks. She studied law at the University of Nairobi, later sitting the Kenyan School of Law and ultimately being admitted as an advocate of the High Court, a title that takes grit, time, and discipline to earn. That credential matters. It's the reason she negotiates deals with a lawyer's calm, why she understands contracts that trip up other influencers, and why she can switch from giving legal advice to posting a runway video without missing a beat. Imagine the awkward juxtaposition, late nights in library stacks followed by dawn photo shoots, and you start to see the hustle. She didn't abandon the law, she repurposed it. Where others saw a reputation risk, she saw a foundation, brand protection, trademark smarts, and a legal framework every growing business needs. In a world that loves to reduce women to looks, Corazon quietly insists on complexity. She is both counsel and client, counsel and brand. That duality explains much of her power. When you know how legal systems work, you can bend the public narrative in ways most people can't. It started with a photograph, but it didn't stop there. A set of images showcasing her curves circulated online, and, in an instant, Corazon moved from relative anonymity to national conversation. The internet can be fickle. It can elevate or crucify you with equal speed. For Corazon, the viral photos became a fork in the road. Retreat from the glare, or build a path through it. She chose the hard route, not hiding, not apologizing, but owning the moment. The difference between a brief trending burst and a sustained brand is strategy. She studied the attention economy and acted. She used the viral spark to launch businesses, curate partnerships, and shape an image that balanced glamour with grind. Some critics labeled the photos scandalous. Other observers saw a woman monetizing visibility and controlling narrative. Whatever label you prefer, the result was undeniable. A platform was created, and platforms are power. From that pixelated moment, Corazon transformed follower counts into storefronts, controversy into conversion, and camera clicks into contracts. If attention is currency, Corazon decided to become a banker. She launched a boutique, expanded into activewear with Genio Activewear, and built e-commerce muscle on top of social influence. Her pitch was simple but brilliant. Fashion that makes women feel powerful and comfortable. Clothes that respect curves, not force them into an impossible mold. She didn't become a brand by accident. She designed it. Behind the glossy posts are spreadsheets, production runs, supplier negotiations, and trademark decisions. The same paperwork other influencers outsource or ignore. Corazon used her legal training to read contracts, protect her trademarks, and structure deals that left her in control. She's also pragmatic. Where global fast fashion copycats undervalue quality, she doubled down on a niche, gym wear for fuller figures, and ran with it. That business acumen is why she moved from socialite to entrepreneur. She's not just selling leggings or dresses. She's selling confidence with a return policy and a balance sheet. That's how you turn like counts into living revenue. Behind the likes and launches, Corazon is also a mother, and that truth slices through the curated feed. Her relationship with fitness influencer Frankie Kyrie, Just Gym It, produced 2 children, a son and a daughter, celebrated widely by fans and media alike. Parenthood made everything messier and more meaningful. The couple's births were public joys. Their split became public grief. Corazon has shared painful, human moments, nights when her children cried because she cried, the awkward choreography of co-parenting under public curiosity, the strain of protecting young hearts while living life on a timeline. She's honest about therapy, resilience, and the slow architecture of healing. Those admissions rewrote this socialite script. She isn't an image. She's a person who learns in public. The way she navigates love and loss, refusing to privately suffer while publicly smiling, adds depth to her brand. She turned heartbreak into lessons on boundaries, parenting, and self-worth. That transparency turned followers into supporters. The end of a relationship didn't end her story. It added a new, raw chapter. There's an unglamorous truth behind many glamorous feeds. Health can derail dreams. Corazon has been open about her struggle with ovarian issues and endometriosis, a fight that threatened her fertility and the life she hoped to build. She's spoken publicly about cysts, surgeries, and the long emotional recovery that follows such invasive procedures. Choosing to be vocal about those struggles was a strategic act of solidarity. It turned private pain into public awareness, helping other women feel less alone. There's power in that vulnerability and risk. In a culture that often shames female bodies, Corazon used her platform to destigmatize women's health conversations, to show that beauty and illness can coexist, and that surviving surgery doesn't make you less glamorous. It makes you human. That candor deepened her connection with fans and positioned her not just as an icon of style, but as an advocate for women's health and resilience. Here's the real secret most critics miss. Corazon's public life reads like a business plan because, in truth, it is one. She treats influence like intellectual property. She reads contracts, files trademarks, negotiates terms, and keeps a lawyer's eye on every pitch. That legal backbone gives her leverage many creators lack. Where others sign away rights for short-term cash, she holds onto the equity. Where others chase trends, she builds product lines. Her next moves, expanding Genio, mentoring women entrepreneurs, returning periodically to legal advocacy, and possibly branching into media production, are predictable only to those who study the playbook. The person who once trended for a photo now plans launches, growth, and exits. She's not a meme. She's a CEO with sneakers. And for every critic who calls her a socialite, there's an accountant who sees a smart, structured business. If you want to understand modern influence, study how she converts attention into assets. That skill will define the next decade of African entrepreneurs. Corazon Kwamboka's story is a study in public reinvention. She turned a viral moment into an economic engine, pain into purpose, showmanship into service. She's messy, strategic, vulnerable, and unapologetically ambitious. And that combination is what makes her compelling. Whether you judge her or you're inspired by her, you can't deny the lesson. Modern success isn't tidy. It's public, it's complicated, and it's earned one post at a time. If Corazon teaches us anything, it's this. Use what you have, own your story, and build systems that outlast attention. If you found this deep dive useful, hit like, subscribe, and drop a comment. What part of Corazon's pivot surprised you most? Her legal edge? Her business moves? Or the courage to speak about health and motherhood in public? Share this with someone who's building in public, and let's keep the conversation going. Because in 2025, influence without impact is just noise. And Corazon, she's trying to make noise that matters.